Hey guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today is day 13 of Ethany's 31 Days of Tarot 2019. Oh, and I have linked her prompts down below. They are through her blog, so if you want to go check that out, I highly recommend jumping in on this. If you have, you like do videos on YouTube, or you want to post something on your Instagram stories or Instagram or Facebook, or you want to post it on her Facebook page, which is the Tarot Readers Academy. She puts like a little thread each day where everybody can post their like links to their Instagram, or they just want to post a picture, or you know, their YouTube links. So yeah, I've loved like sifting through all of those and seeing other people's responses to all these prompts. And sorry, there's just a Wally walking by and I think he's trying to get comfy. There's a Wally tail. So today's prompt asks, what in the using the Major Arcana cards, what is my sun, my moon, and my rising sign, and how have they played out in my life? The cards that I pulled actually came from the Moonchild Tarot. And my sun sign is Gemini. Gemini in the Major Arcana is the Lover's card. And my moon sign in the Major Arcana is Libra, and Libra is the Justice card. The cards in the Moonchild are so beautiful. My rising sign is Scorpio in the Major Arcana. That is Death. How have they played out in my life thus far? Well, I would say Scorpio has played out quite a bit. The Death card, because it seems like I've gone through so many like reincarnations of myself, like so much change, so much changeover, and a lot of my life has been difficult. I know that we only portray like one side of ourselves on social media and YouTube, and like who wants to show everybody like the yucky biznaz? Nobody wants to see that anyway. But I have had a lot of difficult moments that have transformed my path. They have transformed myself, the way I do things, the way I think about things. They have been painful transformations, but I will say that if I didn't have all of those mini deaths, and I'm not talking about, you know, the little death. Yeah, but anyway, if I hadn't had all of those transformations like throughout my life, I wouldn't be who I am. And I like who I have become. I've become, you know, a very compassionate person. I've become somebody who, you know, wants to help out humanity. I want to help nature. I want to help the earth. I want to help its animals. Like I have, yeah, I feel so much. I'm so empathetic, and I think that I would lack in a certain amount of empathy, a certain amount of putting myself in other shoes. I would lack probably actually I would lack in maybe a lot of joy, because if I always had this super happy, wonderful life, I wouldn't know how to compare that with anything. Like if I didn't have horrible things that have happened, which there have been many, if I didn't go through so much, I wouldn't know then what happiness actually is. I wouldn't know that I was happy, you know, if I didn't have something to compare it with. So since I have had a lot of tragedy and awful things and things that have happened in my childhood, in my youth, and my young adulthood, I would have nothing to gauge light and beauty and awesomeness and, you know, friendship and love and all of that is compared to everything that's happened. So I have a really good sense now of gratitude and all of that because of all of this all of this Scorpio-ness that has happened, all this changeover, this death, shedding of my skin, you know, leaving this piece of me behind and now becoming this person. And also when it comes to when you think of Scorpio, you think of, because Scorpio is very watery, so you think of, again, emotions, intuition, which, that's kind of played throughout my whole life, hence why I'm in tarot cards and oracle cards and mediumship readings and things like that, which mediumship, that kind of plays in with the death card too, although not actual physical death, it's not always what it means. When I have to be, or when I have to, and I don't like having to do it, but sometimes I do have to pull out the stinger and I do have to be harsh, even though I don't want to. It's not like what I like doing. I don't really like doing that. And then when it comes to like my, here we have this, the snake and like, the woman just being very sensual. That's also kind of what Scorpio is meaning, very like sexual and sensual. And that's something that I had to kind of grow into, like, because I was always like kind of a tomboy and more like tried to be a boy. And I always shied away from being a female, like, or what it is we think of when we think female, like girly, and because I always thought of that as being like weak, and so when I finally like shed that you can be this and you can be this and you can be, that there isn't, there's just all boys look and sound like this and all girls look and sound like this. Like, no, you can be a girl, you can be a strong girl, but you could also be a sensual girl. And so like, that more of that Scorpio part of me has come out as well. So there's Scorpio, my rising sign for the death card. My moon sign with the justice card, Libra, I think that comes into play with like a lot of things. I have a really overdeveloped sense of justice about everything. Every time I see like an injustice, like somebody being treated unfairly, a student being bullied, somebody not following through and being inconsistent in their discipline, or how when they say they're going to do things and they don't do things, they don't follow through. I have like this, but you should do this and that's not how it's supposed to be. Like when I see people running red lights and not getting in trouble for it, like I'm like, ugh. I think that's totally me with the Libra card. My whole life is about fairness and justice, and I think that's like what like makes me the most heated about things, is like when I feel like I deserve something because, I've done a certain thing, or like I see somebody doing wrong yet they're not being punished for it. It's like, why? So yeah, oh my gosh, the Libra is strong with this one. And then my sun card, which is Gemini, the lovers. That has played out big time in my life, but it's changed, so usually the lovers card is all about connection, not necessarily like two lovers, although it could be that. I always see it as like a connection to something, and when I was younger, I would say up into like my early 20s, I was always looking to find my other half of something, not necessarily in a person, but like I need to find what I was meant to do, and I won't be complete until I am doing that one thing right now. I need to find my person because I'm not whole without somebody else, or I need to have this. And it was always this, I am looking for my other half. I was always searching for something that was the other piece of me in order to make me whole. And then as I've gotten older, I realized that I'm already whole. And when I realized that I'm already a whole person and I don't need external things or external or people on the outside in order to make me the whole person that I am, I now attract things to me that are beneficial to me. And I'm not, grabbing and seeking and feeling things out and just like grabbing anything to, bring into my space. So now it's like, people that are beneficial to me, friends, the dude, kitties, stuffies, things that are on the same vibration as me and are meant to aid me on my journey and really help enhance who I am. They're now being pulled to me because I've already thought of myself as a whole person, so that's kind of like an interesting, I guess, perspective on you know, Gemini. And the Lovers card is, we always think Gemini is like two halves, you know, like two personalities, or like, you know, like two people. But I see this duality is me, and when I find that I'm not two of anything, you know, I'm actually, it's one, that I then attract these other things to me that are beneficial. I don't know if that made any sense, but it makes sense in my brain. So anyway, yeah, that was a fun prompt. So yeah, finding our sun, moon, and rising signs in the Major Arcana. And again, I used the Moon Child Tarot. And yeah, so I look forward to seeing what other people's answers were to this prompt. And if you dug this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to click subscribe, and don't forget to click that ding 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 notification bell for more videos just like this. And I will catch you spiritual homies later. If you want to catch a reading with me, head over to www.kittensweightsandtarot.com. Maybe I'll use the Moonchild Tarot. All right, catch you all later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.